Lemonade by Beyoncé was just ranked as the number one greatest album of the 21st century. Okay, Rolling Stone just did their top 250 albums of the 21st century, with Lemonade taking the number one spot. Let's go through the top 10, and then we'll go through the hip hop albums that made the list as far as top albums were concerned. Okay. Now, here's my thing, guys. Y'all know when I see these lists, I like to go in, read, like, what are the criteria. With Rolling Stone on this one, they didn't give us much. They just talked a lot about, no, I didn't even screenshot it. They just talked a lot about how at the turn of the century, how people, took albums in were a little different, how people played albums back were different, the technology changes. They talked about how, they ranked these albums based on some of the ones that told the story of the turn of that century, right? And obviously quality. So it wasn't really much there. But you see your top 10 with Lemonade, K-Day, Blonde. Shout out to Frank Ocean. Number 4, Stankonia, being the first rap album to show up on the list, but also being that high is fascinating. You got Folklore, number 5, Good Kid, Mad City, which that's kind of heralded as a modern classic. You got SOS, which is very interesting for me, maybe because it's very recent. You got My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. You got the Bad Bunny joint there, I believe, right? And then you got number 10, Is This It? So those were your top 10 albums. Now, one thing that's been bugging me, and it's like, HQ, shut up. It's not your publication. Rolling Stone and Billboard have been doing this thing. The 21st century, was from January 2001 to, I believe, December 2100 or whatever. So in the last 25 years, or 25 years, that is this 21st century. But people keep referencing stuff from 2000. And I'm going to guess that's some kind of music thing that I don't know, that it's like, hey, albums could have dropped in October 2000, technically, whatever. But that's been bothering me. Anyway, let's go through the top 10 rap albums. Okay, so we've got the top 10 rap albums of that 250. Does that make sense? So you see how Stankonia was number 4 in total, but it's number 1 here, all right? Sometimes you got to break it down for some of you guys. They went and took the top 10 rap albums and kind of gave it to us here. Stankonia, which was number 4, is number 1 here. Good Kid, Mad City, we talked about that already. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. All 3 of those albums were in the top 10. And I think that's pretty awesome. Shows you how rap has grown at the turn of the century. Anyway, then you got Blueprint, which I believe was number 11 or something like that. It just barely made it into the top 10. Blueprint was actually number 12. Voodoo by D'Angelo was number 11. So anyway, we got Under Construction by Missy Elliott. Take Care by Drake. The Carter 3 by Lil Wayne. I still swear by the Carter 2 being Wayne's best album, but I understand. I